Hi, welcome to my video on review number 3, exponential functions. And this review is on the videos numbers 21 to 25. And as in all reviews, I treat it as a quiz. And this quiz or test on these videos has a total of 5 questions. So I give them 1 mark for each question, so we get 5. So what you do is, as you do each question, give yourself a mark, total up the bottom of each page. When you get them all done, see how many you got right out of 5, and then divide 5 into the numerator and get a decimal, move a decimal 2 places to the right to get a percent. Hopefully you understand. Now we're going to do the videos in order from 21 to 25. A savings bond worth $20,000 grows at a rate of 6.5% every 3 years. Find its volume to the nearest dollar after 15 years. Well, the first thing you notice is that we're dealing with exponential. So we're dealing with the equation A, which is the amount. This is the initial amount. And we have a base, B, and we have a T over C. So as we read this, I see that we have an initial amount A, which is 20,000, and it grows at a rate. So we have a rate of 6.5%. So that's 6.5% is 6.5%. 1/2 is decimal 5, and the percent, change to a decimal, move your decimal 2 places to the left and make it 0.65. And we also have, at the same time, we have a C, which is the increment change, is every 3 years. And we also have, we had to find the values. That means we're trying to find what the A is, which is what the bond is worth after T is 15 years. So what we have, it's a growth, so that means the base is 1 plus R. So what we have is A equals large A, initial, the base is 1 plus R, and it's the time over the increment change. So A is, small a is 20,000, and we have the rate is right here, 0.065. The time is 15 years, and the increment change is every 3 years. So we have 20,000, 1.065, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. So if you enter that into your calculator, you will come up with 27401.73. And we said we wanted to the nearest dollar, so the answer is 27,400 and to the nearest dollar, 2. Now let's do another one. A diamond bracelet doubles every 8 years. If it is worth $2,600 in 2022, what will its value to the nearest dollar be in 2046? So again, we have A equals A, B, T over C. So it doubles. So to notice we have the word doubles. So doubles means that the base is going to be 2. And every 8 years, so that's the doubling time of 8. And it was worth, the initial amount is 2,600, and what will the value be? So we're looking for A, large A, And the time is 2046. Subtract 2022. That gives us 24 years. And notice it's doubling, so the base is 2. So we have A, large A is what we're looking for. We have 2,600. The base is 2. T is 24. And the doubling time is 8. So what we could is say that C is the doubling time right here. So if I wrote the equation A equals A, B, T over D, D would be the doubling time. So C could be replaced with D. So that gives us 2,600. 24 divided by 8 is 3. And since it's easy, 2 cubed is 8. And when we multiply that out, we get 20800. So the answer is $20,800. And again, if you have this answer, give yourself a mark. If you have this answer, give yourself a mark, total up. Notice I'm not giving part marks now. If you have everything okay, if you have this answer, then if you don't, then consider yourself wrong, even though you might make a slight error. Number 3, the volume of a balloon is volume of a balloon is 400 cubic centimeters. It deflates at a rate of 10% every 4 hours. Find to the nearest tenth of a cubic centimeter the volume after 1 day. Again, the equation A equals A, B, T over C. And we have the volume. Now we could, if you wanted to, you could put V for volume and VO, the initial, or leave it like that. So the volume, A, is the initial, is 400 cubic centimeters, and it deflates, so that means the base is 1 minus the rate. And we have the rate of deflation is 10%, which is 0.10 or 0.1, and the C increment change is 4 hours, so it deflates every 4 hours. Find to the nearest tenth, so that's A, is what we're trying to find, after 1 day, so the time is 1 day. But notice we have 4 hours, so 1 day is equivalent to 24 hours to make it equivalent. So we're looking for the large A, and we have a 400, and we have 1 minus the rate, so it's 1 minus 0.1, and the time is 24 hours divided by the increment change of 4. So we have 400, and 1 subtract decimal 1 is 0.9. 24 divided by 4 is 6. And when we plug that into our calculator, we get 212.576. And we have to round it to the nearest tenth. So it's 212.6. And that's cubic centimeters. And I'm assuming you know how to enter this in a calculator. We showed you that before. A certain carbon element has a half-life of 100 years. How many grams remain after 400 years if the initial amount is 320? Notice we have a half-life. Again, the equation is A equals initial amount, and it's the B to the T over C. So what we have a half-life, so that means the base is a half. And the half-life, if you want to call it H, is 100. So this equation could become A, the base is a half, and it's T over H. So let's continue. We have a half. We have H. I'll fill that in after. How many grams remain? So that means we're looking for the large A, which is on the left side. And we remain after 400 years, so the time is 400 years. If the initial amount is 320, so let's fill it in. We got 320. The base is a half. We have 400 years as the time. The half-life is 100 years. So you simplify that. You have a half. 400 is a 4. And so that's 320. And 1 half to the 4th power is 1 over 16. And 16 divides into 320 20 times. So that gives us, so A is 20 grams. So that's the amount that remains after 40 years. So give yourself, if you have this answer, give yourself 1 mark. If you have this answer, give yourself a mark, total of 2. And one more to do. $10,000 earns interest every 4 months. The annual interest rate is 4.8%. Find to the nearest hundredth of a dollar the amount after 6 years. So this is interesting because the interest is every 4 months. So that means that normally the equation that we know, A equals A, 1 plus R divided by N, as an N, and N times T. So that's the equation when it's compounded in semi-annually, quarterly, daily, weekly, etc., etc. So the initial amount is 10,000. The interest is every 4 months. So we want to find, if it's done every 4 months, how many times a year is it done? So the number of times is 12 months divided by 4. So that means the number of times it's calculated during the year is 3. So that means the N is 3. And the interest rate, R, is 4.8%. And change that to decimal, 0.48. And we want it to the nearest hundredth, so we want to find what large A is, and the time is 6 years. So if we fill it in, we have 10,000, 1, and notice that the interest rate is 0.048 divided by N, which is 3, and N is 3, and the time is 6. So to simplify that equation, to make it easier, to plug in the calculator, 0.048 divided by 3 becomes 0.016, and 3 times 6 is 18, so that gives us 10,000. Let me make that a decimal there. This is 1.016 to the 18. And if you sub that in your calculator, you'll get 13,307 point. And we said round it to the nearest hundredth of a dollar. So the answer is $13,307, and to the nearest hundred is 20 cents. So that's the interest on the 10,000 after 6 years. And notice the formula is the rate divided by N. Remember, if the annual rate is 4.8, then it's happening 3 times. So that's why the rate becomes this, if you want to change it. So it's happening 3 times. So the interest or the rate that you get is 0.16, because it's happening 3 times a year. So that brings us to the end of this quiz. Oh, I forgot. Notice if you have this number, give yourself a mark. So that's, put a 1 on the bottom, total up all your numbers on the bottom, and hopefully you have all right, so you have a mark out of 5, which means you have 100%. And if you like my video, click on the like button, subscribe button, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope you found the video helpful. Bye-bye.